Hello and welcome to another video with Created by Cassie. I hope that you are having a great day. I am
disconnected from Cassie's iPhone 13.
Sorry. I am Cassie with Created by Cassie, and I hope you've had a wonderful Saturday. Actually, I've a Sunday. What is it? My days are all sorts of mixed up. All right. Trying to get everything set up here. All right. So, welcome to another video. I am excited to bring you day 5 of 6 days of my countdown to Sale-a-bration. Sale-a-bration is a Stampin' Up! Thing that we do that, guys, I'm struggling today. Just laugh at me. It's all good. So Sale-a-bration is for every $60 that you spend with Stampin' Up! Hey Amy, how are you doing? Hey Debbie. Every $60 that you spend pre-shipping, pre-tax, you get to pick an item from the Sale-a-bration booklet. And there's some amazing products. We have tons of them. I have a playlist linked down below for my YouTube that is Sale-a-bration playlist. You can go back and watch all my videos so far from day 1 to 5. Today's day 5. And get a look at all the fun bundles that we've had that I've been playing with. And hey Carol, how are you doing? So let's just go over a couple things. They're super quick. So starting tomorrow, I'm going to be going live at a new time on my regular Mondays. It will be at 6:30. So I hope you can join me every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern for my lives. And this is my countdown to Sale-a-bration schedule. And today is the Beautiful Butterflies bundle. So let's see. Let's go into, here we go. So Beautiful Butterflies bundle. I have the number up here on the screen for you. So you can order if you would like. And let's go ahead and get into our bundle here. So this is our bundle for today. This is the Beautiful Butterflies, and it is beautiful. The font here is scripted, and it's really pretty. We have Time to Celebrate, In Case You Need Me, I'm Here, Happy Birthday, Hello, So Thankful and For You. We have a beautiful large butterfly. We have a butterfly here as well as here. And these are actually to stamp as part of the wings that you can do on one of the cutouts from the die set. So this is a photopolymer set, and I did write, hybrid embossing folder. So I'm going to show you that as well. First, here are the dies that come with it. It has this really cool die that will cut out where it keeps the top not cut out, so you can actually open it up, which is really cool. And we have a big outline of a butterfly, which this, when you cut it out, you can use these two stamps to stamp on these wings here for a detail. There's also a die that has a little bit of cutouts in here, which is beautiful. There's also two smaller butterflies that way. You can also do this one cut out when you use your butterfly stamp here, as well as this one cuts out this here. We also have some really cool like body and antenna die that you can put through your cutout here. Super cute. And then we have two different size label dies. So lots and lots to choose from. I do want to keep that out though, because I want to show you the amazing hybrid embossing folder that comes with this. So this is the embossing folder here. As you can see, there's a butterfly here in the middle. You have all kinds of little polka dots throughout here, as well as some other butterflies throughout. And for a hybrid embossing folder, how you use this is you'll open it up, and on the top here, you're going to take whatever die is for the middle here, which in this one is this die right here. So you just are gonna stick it down. Hey Bev, how are you doing? You're just gonna stick it down, and it is going to clip in here so that it doesn't move. Once it's clipped in, it's not gonna move. Then you'll put your paper in here and close it up and run it through your embossing machine. And if you have it with the die in there, it's going to come out like this. It's going to cut out your butterfly. Look at how beautiful that is. All the detail there that is also embossed on it. And then you also have this piece. You can cut out these other butterflies if you want. You could use this as your front and then do a different color butterfly and raise him up a little bit, kind of make it nice and cute. And if you don't want to cut it out, it will come out just like this. If you want it just to run through the whole embossing folder, it'll come out like this. So you have two options with this. You can use it just to emboss like this, or you can emboss and cut out. So that's what makes it the hybrid embossing folder, which is so cool. Such a cool product. I love those. And then that comes with this, the sweet aspect of it are these itty bitty Boken mix. And we're going to use these today, guys. And these are so beautiful. Look at those. Look at the sparkle on that. Oh, they're so fun, so pretty. I just love these so much. All right. Hi, Kevin. How are you doing? All right. So our first card for today is this one right here. Look how pretty that is. So this is popped up here. I ran this through the hybrid embossing folder and cut him out. This right here is using the detailed cut out die, which is this one. I just cut it out, and I cut this out of the beautiful Boken paper that we have here, that kind of goes along with this suite. And then we have our sentiment die here, as well as I used the embossing folder on this whole back here. I'm doing good. Thanks, Kevin. All right. Isn't that beautiful? And then we do have our Sale-a-bration sequin, purple sequin adhesives on here. And I also used our gold butterflies that we have that are orderable at the moment. All these items, yeah, vellum would be a good one too for this. You're right, Bev. So we have our inside. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful stamped image. And that's our envelope that matches. So this is going to be our first card for today. So let's go ahead and dive in. So what you're going to need for this, let me get all my pieces out here, make sure I'm not losing any. So you're going to need a card base. This is Gorgeous Grape, and it is cut 4 1/4 by 11, and it's scored at 5 1/2. This is just my preferred size. You're going to need a piece of the same color, which is Gorgeous Grape, cut out to 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. It's going to go across the whole front here. This is going to be embossed with the embossing folder, and isn't that just beautiful? It's so pretty. And it would be gorgeous if you put some of the Wink of Stella over top of some of these butterflies. And then for the inside, you're going to need your basic white, which is going to be 3 3/4 by 5, which is my standard inside. And then you're going to need a piece of, this is not Calypso, this is Coastal Cabana So we'll need a piece of Coastal Cabana, a piece of fresh freesia. This is actually Summer Splash because I wanted it to kind of be slightly different in color. You can tell a little bit. And then you're going to need a piece of your DSP. And for this one, I used the very first one that is got this pink on the front, and then it's got this design on the back, is the one I used for this. So you would run your purple through the embossing folder to come out with this, and then you would run your Coastal Cabana through with the hybrid and cut out your butterfly and while it's embossed. And then from there we're just going to assemble everything. So I'm going to put some glue, a little bit of gumminess going on though. This bottle is so close to being done. I'm excited to get it completely empty. So I'm just going to put this across the whole front here. And I'm just going to tap it down on the sides just to make sure that it is flush. And then I'm just going to press down. And with hybrid embossing folders especially, or any type of 3D embossing folder, I highly recommend a lot of glue to keep it glued down, because it will pop up on you if you don't have enough glue. All right, next we're going to take our detailed piece here. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to put the smallest amount of glue here in the middle. Don't need too much, just a little bit. And then I'm going to line it up in the middle of my Coastal Cabana butterfly that we cut out of our hybrid embossing folder. Let's get him on here. There we go. Perfect. So we have him all lined up. And if you use the liquid green glue, it gives you a second to, if you can grab it, to kind of maneuver it around to get it exactly where you want it. That's perfect. Then I'm going to take this, the body, which this is the larger of the body dies. We do have two of the smaller body dies that come with it, which is this. So you can see the different sizes. You'll get two dies of this one and one of this one within the die set. So we're just going to take our, this is Summer Splash, and I'm going to just put a tad bit of glue, and I'm just going to stick him down in the middle. And it's really easy to get this lined up because of all the embossing that it has. It's very, very straightforward. There we go. And once it's dry, you can kind of finagle your wings because we're not going to glue them down. They're going to be free moving, just like this, because that's what a butterfly does. And once it goes in a card, when you put it in your envelope, you'll just hold it down so you can get it in. But once it's in the envelope, it'll stay flat. All right, and then we have our sentiment die here, and what I used for this was actually from my Simply Said stamp set. This is also coming out on January 7th. This is a really, really great set. I am loving this set so much. It has all kinds of different sayings. It has print as well as a little bit more of a scripted. And so for this one, I used the Let's Celebrate because it fit perfect right here. Absolutely perfect. So I'm going to grab a block, get this set on here, and then I used Gorgeous Grape ink and just did a slight tap, 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 and then, yep, this is up, And I am just going to line this up in the middle. Press down and hold for a second or two. And then pull up. Oh, that's so pretty. Look at that font. Isn't that beautiful? I just love how that comes out. This Simply Said stamp set is definitely a must-have in my opinion. I have really been enjoying it. And I've used it on quite a few of these projects that I've done for my countdown to Sale-a-bration. All right, so we have all of our pieces now. I'm going to close up this gorgeous grape so I don't get it on me. Then what I did was I just took my butterfly, I flipped him over, and I'm going to use some dimensionals on him or her. And nice, I went through a whole pack. I get to open a new one. I love when that happens. All right, so we're gonna stick a couple here and then one in the middle, just to make sure. And then what I did was here, you can see the outline of the butterfly here. I lined this butterfly up to that butterfly so that you don't see it behind. And what ended up being really nice is it actually popped it up a touch more because you already have that embossed right here. So it actually gives it an extra little bump up that I actually thought looked really, really cool. All right, pull these off here. Let's see. Did I get this middle one? Yep. All right. So I'm just going to line this up right here. Perfect. Just like that. Isn't that beautiful? The Coastal Cabana really pops off the gorgeous grape, and then you have this DSP that also pops off both. Oh, it's just so pretty. And then this is our sentiment, and this is in Fresh Freesia. And I'm also going to pop this up down here on the bottom. I'm going to put 3 dimensionals. Dimensionals are my favorite. I'm going to take these off here. And I'm just going to line this up down here. And before I push down, I'm going to make sure that I have it centered where I want it. I'm going to pop it up here so I can look at it. Right head on. Let's see if I can get this centered here. All right, there we go. And it's straight. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I just love it. All right, so then we're going to do our inside. And for this, what I did was I took our butterfly right here, stamp, and stuck it on my block. And I used my Coastal Cabana ink. And my paper's up and down since my card is up and down. And I'm going to tap, tap, tap here. Ink this up, and I really need to re-ink this pad. So it's going to be a little bit on the lighter side, but that's okay. So I'm just going to kind of put him a little bit to the side, just like that. And then I'm also going to do our envelope the same way. I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. I've already got the re-inker for this in my shopping cart, so I can get that ordered. All right, so we have them matching now, which is perfect because we definitely want to have the inside and the envelope decorated. All right, so we're going to go ahead and Put some glue here on the back. And this is a very simple, straightforward card to make, to recreate. And it kind of uses a little bit of everything within this bundle. You get a stamp and the dies, and you get to use some of the paper as well that coordinates with this set. All right. Isn't that beautiful? Then we get to embellish. So for this, I used these brushed brass butterflies, which are my absolute favorite. As you can see, I'm almost done with this sheet right here. So I'm going to pull some of the small ones from this piece back here. Get this back in here. Oh, I lost one, that's why. We'll just stick it over here. All right, so let me grab my tool here, and I am just going to pick a large butterfly off this side. I'm going to stick him on my sentiment here for just a little bit of pop of interest, and then I'm going to grab one of these smaller butterflies. Oh, he fell, flying away. And I'm just going to stick him over here, and I'm going to kind of put him facing this way, just like that. Isn't that fun how that kind of shines? Then I took our Sale-a-bration purple adhesive backed sequins. You can get these for free when you order $60 pre-shipping and tax from my online store. That is linked down in the description if you want to go shopping. And Sale-a-bration starts on the 7th, so you need to wait till the 7th if you want to get these. And for this one, I used these purple right here. It actually looks like I ran out of the small ones. Let me see if I have, yep, I have a new pack right here. Because I love these so much. I've been using them a lot. I'm going to cut this open. So we'll just use the small from this one. We'll work on these large ones here. So I put one large up here and then two small. So I'm going to grab one of these. Whoops, he doesn't want to be used. Alright, I'm going to stick him here. And then I'm just going to grab a couple of these smaller ones and put one here. That there. And let's put this one right here. And that's our first card. Isn't that beautiful? I love that gorgeous grape with the Coastal Cabana and the Fresh Freesia. It's such a nice combination together. So, so pretty. All right, that was our first card. Now, our second one is a bit more complicated. And this is actually my first card that I have ever made that is a shaker card. So I'm quite proud of it. So this is our next card, and it shakes. It's got all the little pieces from our itty bitty Boken mix here on the inside, and it shakes around. It's so pretty. And then this is the inside. How fun is that? I just love this. So let's go ahead and dive into this. I think I have everything out of here. So I used a piece of this one. I used, what is this? This is Highland Heather, and this is Pretty in Pink. And what I did first, move my pieces out of the way here. This is our inside. This is going to be our background. So what I did for this is a piece of Highland Heather cardstock. I ran it through our embossing folder and just embossed it, as you can see here. And I did the bigger butterfly kind of coming in, and then some of the other butterflies kind of flying off around the sides there. So what we're going to do is glue this guy down on the top portion of our card base. There we go. I'm going to put quite a bit of glue since it is kind of like a 3D folder here. And here we go. I'm just going to push and hold this down. Let's put a little bit more glue here. It wants to pop up. And that's kind of what happens sometimes with these embossing folders that are a bit more intricate. They sometimes don't want to stick on the... It is a little bit extra effort, Amy, but it's so worth it. Isn't that so pretty? I just love it. All the little shakers, and it has all kinds of different things in there. I was surprised when I went to dump it in there. I was like, oh man, I didn't realize there's all these different pieces. All right, so I took my piece of designer series paper, and this is from that this set here, the Beautiful Boken, and I used, let's see if I can show you the page. It's this one right here. It's the lightest purple, the Fresh Freesia, so it's this one, and that's the back. So this is the piece that I used for this. And I used the Spotlight on Nature dies to cut this circle out. Those are also available currently on my online store. And then I took a piece of our window sheets. Now this is like a acetate sheet. It's clear. You can get it in my online store. And I cut this, I believe this is 3.5 by 3.5. And what I want to do is I want to get it in this circle here, if you can see that. I want to make sure that it's here because I want to have all my shaker pieces on the underside of it so that they'll shake. So what I did was, I'm going to line this up here, and I just took some of my Terran tape and I lined it around the edges here and the corners just to make sure it's gonna stick. And you don't wanna, you wanna make sure you're not going all the way to the edge because we want to make sure that we get a good seal, which on my first one, which on this one I did not, and I went to shake it and my pieces went flying out. So do as I say, not as I do, because I didn't do this part on that one. I had to do a little bit of reconstruction on it to get it to stay closed, because it's a little bit challenging after you've closed it up to get it apart. All right, let's do one more right here just to make sure. Don't want this to bubble up anywhere. Okay, so we have that acetate sheet here, our window sheet. Just put it all around with our, you could also use Scotch tape if you want. I actually liked this because when I did do a mess up, I was able to stick my little tool in there and take the piece of the top of the Terran tape off, and it acted as glue, and it actually worked much better on the adhesive sheets, the adhesive strips, I mean. So I'm going to use these adhesive foam adhesive strips. You can also get this on my online store, and if you would like to shop my online store, just go down to the description, and I have a link, and it is under the shop, my online store section down there. And you can actually, let's just go ahead, and I want to make sure that I'm getting this on the paper and not on the acetate sheet. It needs to go on the paper, because if it goes on the acetate sheet, it will come off. And that's not good. I can attest to that, because that is exactly what I did on this one, and yeah, it didn't work so well. So I'm just going to line this straight down. I'm going to push this down here. Then I'm going to cut this piece off. There we go. And I can use this piece. Actually, I'm going to save this piece because we're going to do our corner here. So I'm going to get a new one. And as you can see, these are also in my cart currently because I'm almost out of these. Alright, so I'm going to set this one super close to this edge here, as close as I can get it. And I actually think I'm going to take, well, I don't really want to do that. It will still hopefully be partly on the, yeah, it'll be still partly on the paper. There we go. I just want to make sure that it's going to stick, because that was a mess. Alright, and I'm going to cut this. And then I'm going to line this one up as best I can here. Pull this one up to the top and make sure it's on the paper. Yep, it's not coming off. Good. Alright, and this one's actually a really good size, so I'm going to put this down here, and I'm going to do this sideways because, like on a diagonal, because I want my filler, I don't want my filler to go down in this corner where we can't see it, because if it's down here, we're not going to be able to see it down here. So I want it to be able to kind of show around here. So I'm putting a piece of this foam adhesive right here, and I actually think when I adhere this to the paper, I'm going to take these off because this is on the acetate sheet, and I want to make sure it's not going to pop itself off there. And then, nope. And I do recommend not piecing together the pieces that go around. That did not work either for me. So I'm going to pull this off, and I'm going to line this up with this one right here. And if you get a corner that's not quite secure, you can go ahead and add a little piece, because this one's not quite as up close, because the way I cut it was not good. So I'm just going to stick that right there, and if you can see, it's gonna, there's a little gap here, that's going to close that gap right there. Then I'm going to use this one. Is this the same? It is. I cut these funny. Alright, so I'm going to stick that right there, and I will take the adhesive part off of those. Whoops. And so I'm going to use this piece like I did for this one on this side. And I tried my very best to get it as close to this as I could, but I still don't want to be able to see it. And I'm going to cut this as close. There we go. That's up close. Perfect. Now I'm just going to press all of these down really well. Make sure these are not going to come apart, because that's not fun. Alright. They are all down. So what I'm going to do is take my tool here. I'm going to leave the top on. I'm not going to take it off yet. I don't want to take that off. Hi Juliet, how are you doing? Thank you for joining. Alright, let's get this one off. And I have just found if you use your take your pick tool or any kind of pointy tool, it makes it so much easier to get these toppers off of these strips here. Whoops. I think I got that one. I did not get this bottom one. Pop him up here. And yep, I need to do this side. Isn't this card so pretty? All right. And actually we need to put our butterfly down on the inside. So I'm just gonna kind of take a peek, and I think I'm gonna put him right about here. So I'm gonna take this guy, and this is one of our dies. This is one of the small ones, and this is one of the small bodies. This is in the DSP paper, and this is in Gorgeous Grape. So I'm going to do as I did before. Forgot that I didn't glue this one together. I'm going to put a touch of glue right here, if it'll come out. There we go. And I'm just going to stick this here in the middle. Got a little too much glue. Pop that off there. There we go. And I'm just going to move his little wings up. Then I'm going to take a small one of my dimensionals. This is a side that I cut off of one of them. I'm going to stick it back here on the back like that because I want him to pop up. And I'm just going to stick him right here. I'm going to kind of have him going sideways. Okay, now we can take this, and how I did this was I actually stood my card up. I stuck my piece of DSP up against the bottom here, and I kind of sandwiched them up together, and then I put my fingers to the side to hold them together on the side, and then I just lightly pressed right here to adhere the corner here, and then that allowed me to put it down and push down on all these sides. And before I put anything on the inside, I just want to make sure we are all sealed. Yep, perfect. And I do want to take one of these last ones here, and I'm just going to flip this up here, and I'm just going to stick this towards the bottom so that it keeps this bottom part closed. And the reason that I didn't do this before I put this down is because to sandwich it together, it made it so much easier to not have it on here. So I waited until after. Get this guy off of here. There we go. So I'm just going to pull this off and then just press it down. And then now this is not going to come up. It is stuck down perfectly. All right, now this is a fun part. You get to put all the fun little shaker pieces in. So I'm going to open this very carefully. And these are a bit staticky, so don't be surprised if they kind of fly around a little bit. So I left this piece of our adhesive strip on so that it didn't close right here, because I want to put my shaker pieces down here so that they'll be inside. So I'm just going to stick my fingers kind of here to open it up, and I'm just going to take a couple pinchfuls, stick them down in there. I found this was the easiest way, and you can do as little or as much as you want. Let's see, I want a little bit more, because this is the whole point of the card, right? To have all the shakers. All right, and see, they stick to you. I actually, earlier I found them on my sleeve. They were all stuck and then I couldn't get them unstuck. I'm gonna put these back in here. All right. He's stuck there. All right, let me see. Oh yeah, that's good. You see, we've got all our pieces in here. Now, I'm going to make sure that I don't have any of those stuck up in here, because then my adhesive strip will not stick. So I'm just going to pull off this piece here, just like that, and then I'm going to close it up, just pinch it, and it's not coming open because we have it on our cardstock. And there we have our shaker. Look how cute that is. Isn't that pretty? I just love these things, and you see they go all over the place. All right, I'm just gonna stick these back if they will allow me to. These are so beautiful. I love all the shimmer that it gives. Let's see if these will actually go in. All right. Oh, there's one over here. I'll be finding these for days. All right. Make sure I have that top all the way on so I don't accidentally fling those all over the place. All right. Now we get to decorate. So what I did was I used our mixed label dies from our mixed labels bundle, which is also new and coming out on the 7th. I used this die right here. I have some stuff falling off over here. And I cut that out. It's this die right here of, this is Highland Heather cardstock. And then I took my, it was this one right here, the Simply Said, and I used the Happy Birthday here and stamped that right on there in Gorgeous Grape. So I'm just going to flip this upside down, and I'm going to put 3 dimensionals, one on this side, one on this side. I actually think I'm going to do 4. It's a little bit longer. So I'm going to put one there and one there. Since this is a shaker card, it's going to be handled probably a little bit more, and I don't want it to come off. So I'm just going to take these off. Have you guys ever made a shaker card? This is my first one, and it was really fun to create. I just want this to overlap just a touch right here. I'm going to overlap it, and I'm going to do my best to center it. That looks about right. Like that. How pretty. Oh, I love it. Now we have these 2 other butterflies that I put on the outside. So I have those right here, and I did the same thing I did with the one inside. I just kind of flipped around their little wings. Yeah, the butterflies are beautiful. All right. Now I'm actually going to cut a little bit bigger of a piece because these are on top, and I just want to make sure they have enough on them. They're not going anywhere because that other one is really small. This guy, I'm going to stick him down here, and I'm going to have him kind of going down. He's exploring. Here we go. We'll put him, let's go like this. There we go. Just like that. And then this one I'm going to put going up on the outside up here. So he's going to be flying off trying to fly off the card. Stick that down there, and see that's a little bit thicker, so it'll keep him stuck a little bit more since this is a card that will be handled. And I just stuck him right here. Aren't they pretty? So cute. And I love how these shaker pieces kind of get stuck on the butterfly that's on the inside, because it gives him a little bit of a different look than these. And if you don't want it there, you just stick it. Well, it worked on the other one. It might be a little tight, but if you kind of bang it, they all go down to the bottom here. So let's go ahead and glue our inside down. All right, get my glue here. I think this one is gone. Finally. All right, there we go. Just gonna put some glue. And I'm gonna line this up, the left to right and the bottom. And then push it down. Perfect. All right. And you know what I forgot to put on the inside are my gold butterflies. I totally forgot those. Well, maybe we'll just put them on the top here. I always gotta forget something, right? We'll just go ahead and put them on the top here. Get rid of these guys. So I'm gonna put one here. Let's go with him here, because he'll stick. They'll stick really good there. And then I'm gonna do 2 of these little tiny ones. Do you guys ever do that where you, let's put him going this way. You've designed a card and you're making it kind of similar to the last one, and then you forget like one of the important parts of the design. I'm gonna put this guy like this. Isn't that cute? You kind of can't tell that they're not in there. Then I'm going to take my Sale-a-bration sequins, if I can find them. I think here they are. And for this, I used the pink, and I'm pretty sure this is Melon Mambo. I meant to look it up, and I totally forgot. So I'm going to use one of these large ones. I don't need this one actually, because I have the small ones on this one. So I'm just going to put one of the large ones here, and then a small one right here, and then another small one up here. And that is our finished shaker card. How pretty. And it shakes. And then we have our beautiful inside. And I have the matching envelope. Isn't that beautiful? I just love this one so much. And it's so fun, and it's my my first shaker card, so I'm quite proud of it. All right, and I have a bonus card for you guys today. I was playing around, and look at this. This is with the fun die that comes with the bundle. Isn't that beautiful? I started out with this one, but it doesn't translate as well with the Blackberry Bliss on camera and photos, so I ended up making it in Flirty Flamingo. But isn't that beautiful? I just love it so much. So, and it was super easy. It wasn't hard at all. So I wanted to show you how I did this. So I kept my parts here so I could show you. So I started out with a card that, let me grab one down here that I just did. Here he is. So I started out with a card. It is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. So it's going to be this type of card, this fold. So what you're going to do, I'm just going to burnish this really quick because it drives me nuts when they come apart. So I'm going to take the edge that is together, and I'm going to take my die, and if you see here on the die, it does not have anything up here at the very top to cut. You do have this triangle here, but that's only going to cut out this part here. It's going to keep that portion up at the top. If I can open it here. There we go. It's going to keep it together. So it's not going to cut at all across the top here. So what I did was I just put it up here at the top. I lined it up. And this piece is gonna it's gonna go right there. So I had it on here, I ran it through, and when it comes out, it looks just like this. You're gonna have it just like this. And then when you take it off, this piece will have been in here, and you're not gonna need it. So you're just gonna take this piece out, which is this whole piece right here that it cuts out. And because it's not cutting the whole top, even though it cut this portion off, it doesn't cut these two pieces, so you still have your card that can open, and it's together. It's not going to come apart. So I just wanted to show you how I did that, because I know it might have looked a little bit complicated, but it was actually really easy. And then for this, all I did was I took that die, and on the paper I actually just pushed this above the paper by a lot. Like I had, this is where the edge of the paper was, so instead of putting this piece right here, I put it above the edge like this and cut here, so that it gave me a little bit less up here, just for the inside. So for this, I'm just gonna stick this guy in here, my glue. And this guy, he's really simple. They do have a butterfly kit. It was, I believe it was a paper pumpkin butterfly kit. It was gorgeous. I actually still have a kit or two of that one because I got extra. All right. It was very popular, and it sold out really quick. All right, and so this is going to just butt right up to the edge, and you can put glue on your antennas or you don't have to. I think I did on this one, but not on this one. You can't really tell because it kind of covers it up. And to get this little pattern here, I used this stamp right here, which I think is just to do like a trail as it's flying. Or I guess you could use it on the wings too, which is what I did as like a little bit of a decoration. Then what I did was I took our die from the set for our sentiment. This is the long one. And again, I used the Simply Said stamp set that's also available starting January 7th. And I put the Let's Celebrate on it. And I'm just going to nestle it right in here with, yeah, I tested it out on this one, so that's why it's on both sides. I'm just going to get, whoops, a couple of these dimensionals here, and I'm gonna set this in the middle, and this actually makes it pretty easy because you have these 2 points right here, so you just line it right up with it and you got it centered. just like that. Super, super easy, right? Then to embellish this, I used, these are our Tinsel Gems 4-pack, and I believe this is Melon Mambo. Not 100% sure, but I think it's Melon Mambo. So I took 2 of the larger and I stuck one on either side here, just to kind of give it a little, actually I used the smaller. So I'm just gonna stick this guy here. I'm gonna push him up a little bit. There we go. And this guy. And I kind of tried to look at it to see, kind of get them the same distance apart. Isn't that so pretty? And it kind of just brings your eye to the Let's Celebrate there. And then I used one of my favorites. These are the Iridescent Faceted Gems. And I used these to go across here just for an extra bit of sparkle. On this one I used the Sale-a-bration sequins, but I thought I wanted to try something different with this one, so I used these, and they really pop on this. I really like it. So is this the large or the small? I think this is the large. Yeah, this is the large. So I'm just gonna stick a large one here, kind of match it up a little bit right here. And then I think I did 2 large ones here down at the bottom. And I just kind of tried to match it up on either side here. There we go. Then I've got to use a new sheet for these smaller ones. And I just put those right in here. So I'm going to stick this guy here. Out here. There we go. And right there. And there we have our cute little butterfly card. Isn't that adorable? These would be great for little note cards. I actually used my note card size envelopes for this one. And of course for the envelopes I used that stamp. I just did it 3 different times on here. But it fits perfectly right in here. Isn't that beautiful? I just really like this beautiful butterfly set. It was so fun to play with these dies. I really enjoyed it. I hope you have enjoyed this live. Let me go ahead and show you all the cards that we made. So this was our first one. This is our second. Oh look, I already found another one. Stick that over there. They get everywhere. Let's just do just the cards. There we go. And see if I can get all these in line here. Let me know down in the comments which is your favorite. I think the shaker card is my favorite. But this one's pretty cool too. I really like this cutout. And the way that I've seen it in the catalog is they actually only cut the front part of the butterfly, and so the it's going to be like this. You're going to have the back part of it, but the front is going to be the butterfly. So when you open it, you still have the base there, but I wanted to be a little bit different, and I cut it out like this. And I will say, as a tip, run it through twice, because you're going to have the 2 layers. And the cardstock's a little bit thicker, so I would run it through your emboss machine twice to make sure you get these antennas cut out. Beautiful. All right. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me today. I hope you enjoyed this day 5 of my countdown to Sale-a-bration. Again, for tomorrow, I'm going to be going live at 6:30, which is my new time for my Monday lives. And the bundle I'm going to be working with is a new mini bundle, the Storybook Garden bundle. And that will be tomorrow, which is Monday at 6:30. Hope you can join me. If not, there is a replay. You can put hashtag replay. If this was your first time joining me live, put a comment down there and let me know so I can say hi. And thank you for that. And thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me today. I really appreciate it. If you haven't followed me on my socials, go ahead and do that. Sign up for my newsletter. All of the information is tagged in the description below that you need. And I will see you guys back here tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. for another video. Bye.